There has been a national story involving a woman a college student in Iowa who went missing in late July. Now, the story has now been exploited as propaganda by the right in this immigration debate because the person who allegedly committed the crime of murdering her is allegedly an undocumented immigrant. Now, I say allegedly because reports keep conflicting that very detail. Is he here illegally, right? His lawyer says no. There are indications that he is here illegally. But regardless, this story is involving a woman by the name of Mollie Tibbetts. Her remains were found after Cristhian Rivera, that's the name of the alleged perpetrator, led authorities to her remains. Now, to give you some more details on this, investigators zeroed in on Rivera thanks to surveillance video and charged him with first-degree murder in the death of Tibbetts, whose disappearance on July 18th set off a massive search. So again, he led investigators to her remains, which by the way is pretty clear evidence that he committed this crime. And so Republicans are now latching onto this story because of his immigration status. Again, his lawyer is saying he's here legally. There are other indicators that say he's here illegally. He's a criminal and he should deal with our justice system, and I'm glad that he got caught. Now, let me give you a sense of what people are saying. Tom Cotton says, prayers for Tibbetts' family and all who knew and loved Mollie. Lots of questions. Where did this illegal alien work?
That is a good question.
That is a good question. I'll tell you in just a second. What was his work status? But one thing is sure, Mollie would be alive if our government had taken immigration enforcement seriously years ago. Okay, well, we actually found out where he did work. And he worked for prominent Republican farmers in the state of Iowa.
Here's what I'd say to that. Lock him up, lock him up. So, I mean, you tell me, you keep saying that, that this is a scourge upon the country and he wouldn't be here if it weren't for our lax laws. But he also wouldn't be here if somebody wasn't hiring him. So that guy hired him, and now she's dead. This is your logic, this is not my logic, okay? Yeah. And according to your logic, well, then I guess the guy who hired him is also culpable. If he hadn't hired him, he never would have been here and Mollie would be alive.
So let's go to graphic 43.
I'm sure they're gonna arrest that Republican fundraiser, right?
Doubt it. So let's go to graphic 43, give you more details on where this man worked. Rivera had been employed at the farm of Craig Lang, an Iowa GOP official.
Oh, great.
For the last 4 years, and had also reportedly passed the government's E-Verify system. I'll give you an update on that in just a second, which scours ICE and Department of Homeland Security records. Now, there was an investigation into the E-Verify system, and it has now been confirmed that he actually did not go through the E-Verify system. So this Craig Lang essentially lied about that, because he was the person who said, no, he was a reputable guy. We put him through the E-Verify system and he passed. No, I mean, look, we talk about undocumented immigration in the country as if all the onus is on the people who are here illegally. They're all criminals, they get defamed left and right. But we never talk about all the Republicans throughout the country who hire them, who pay them, incredibly low wages, sometimes lower than minimum wage. We never talk about that, do we? And by the way, look, this is a horrendous crime. And so I'm not making any excuses for this guy. He should go through trial, he should deal with the justice system, and he should be dealt with properly. But with that said, let's not make any mistake about why this has become a national story. First of all, anytime there's a mass shooting in the country, what is the first thing Republicans do? Oh, no, prayers, and we cannot politicize this. Do not talk about gun control, don't politicize it. We're talking about one murder in the country that could have been committed by an undocumented immigrant, and all of a sudden, this is a national story, and they're using this to stereotype all undocumented immigrants in the country. By the way, two can play at that great game. So let's look at some FBI statistics on homicides in the country. These are statistics from 2015, the latest year that we have the stats on. In this data set, there were 2,574 counts of homicides where a white person was the victim of an offender who was also white. I think we need to deport white people, and we should really reconsider what citizenship means in the country. Just because you were born here doesn't mean that you're necessarily a citizen. Should we deport all white people? A lot of these people are white men. Should we deport white men? They're all criminals, right? Based on that stupid logic that you hear from Republicans time and time again. So Candace Owens is one of the members of the right who is exploiting this story, who keeps tweeting about it. And something really interesting happened. One of Tibbetts' second cousins, at least she has presented herself as a second cousin, her name's Samantha Lucas, responded to Candace Owens and said the following: "We are not so small-minded that we generalize a whole population based on some bad individuals." She later said, "Take her name out of your mouth." And so I wanted to give you that perspective because it's important.
This is how propaganda works. You just pick isolated anecdotal cases and you repeat it over and over again until people think it's a giant problem. This murder is horrible, but I could find you just as many murders, in fact, more murders committed by citizens, because undocumented immigrants commit less crime than the citizens do on average. But that's not what you see, because Trump doesn't want you to see that. The right wing doesn't want you to see that. We obviously can't deport the citizens. We have to actually care about what is the real problems in this country. So any murder is a gigantic problem, but trying to twist it so it seems like they're doing more of the crime is just flat out wrong. Young Turks.
Never miss another TYT video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. And don't forget to join TYT and download the TYT Plus app today. Download the TYT Plus app on your phone or head over to tyt.com/join.